to the global headlines then, the Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell says more tightening power coming through. He also says that the markets can expect 2 more rate hikes ahead, possibly at an aggressive pace to bring inflation down. Now, he was speaking alongside other global banking leaders at the ECB forum in Portugal. Listen in to the excerpts from this conversation.
Let me say the U.S. economy has actually been quite resilient, and the data that we're still seeing, including since the last meeting, still is consistent with with an economy that's resilient and growing, albeit at a modest pace. As I mentioned earlier, though, yes, there was no question. The first question was how fast should we go, and we went pretty fast, and we got to a level that we believe is restrictive. We're in restrictive territory. If you take the federal funds rate and you subtract some forward-looking measure of expected inflation, you'll get a significantly positive real rate, meaning we're probably in restrictive territory. So, and I think we have steadily slowed the pace of our moves, and it's appropriate to do so for one reason, because the more information we get, the better decisions we'll make. The risks of doing too much versus doing too little become more in balance. I wouldn't say they're in balance yet, but they're becoming closer to balance. I still believe and the committee clearly believes that there's more work to do, that there are more rate hikes that are likely to be appropriate, though.
Right. Sticking with the macros from the US, the number of Americans filing for unemployment claims fell by the most in almost 20 months. Claims for the week ended 25th of June decreased by 26,000 to a seasonally adjusted 239,000. Signs of resilience in the labor market vis-a-vis a robust economy could push the Fed to resume raising interest rates as soon as July. We had the Fed chair speak about that. Of course, the claims drop is the most in 20 months.
Meanwhile, consumer prices in the Japanese capital rose 3.2% in June on an annualized basis, exceeding BOJ's 2% target for the 13th straight month. Economic data pointing towards broadening inflationary pressures in what could result in the BOJ's phasing out its ultra-loose monetary policy soon under the new governor, Kazuo Ueda.
Right, and in a major blow to China, the US and Netherlands have gone ahead and are set to restrict sales of chip-making equipment in a bid to prevent their technologies being used to strengthen China's military. While the Dutch are planning to curb certain equipment from national champion ASML and other companies, the US is expected to go one step further and use its long reach to withhold even more Dutch equipment from specific Chinese labs.
And Sweden's currency Krona hits a new record low on Thursday after the country's central bank raised interest rates by 25 basis points and played down the possibility of market interventions as the currency falls and due to the economic slowdown. The currency was seen to be dropping to 0.0844 krona as compared to the euro. The central bank also anticipated at least one more hike this year.
Right, and in a major blow to affirmation action policies, the US Supreme Court issued a ruling on Thursday that invalidates race-conscious student admission programs, which is currently used by Harvard as well as University of North Carolina. Meanwhile, former President Obama, who argued that these policies were essential to ensuring that all students, regardless of race or ethnicity, have the opportunity to succeed. US President Joe Biden strongly disagreed with the Supreme Court's decision. He added that the court's ruling walked away from decades of past precedent.
Well, that was the news coming in from the global arena, but we will have to slip into a short break. But you don't go anywhere. After the break, we go domestic.